So each year I try to make an advice video for that year's graduating class, mostly just for fun. Because if you didn't know, high school graduation in Hawaii is a pretty big deal. Go Tigers! My second cousin graduated this year from Pearl City, and I thought to myself, where did time go? I remember when she was a baby. The class of 2021 is particularly special because I graduated high school the same year most of these kids were born, which makes me feel really old. Originally, I was going to talk about how these kids really persevered and they should be really proud of themselves for making it through a tough time. I was also going to point out that according to the Department of Education, 1 in 4 Hawaii high school seniors struggled to graduate this year. And I kind of wonder how that's going to affect their future. But instead, I decided to talk about friendship in Hawaii because this really applies to more than just this graduating class. It applies to all of us because everyone knows the saying in Hawaii, right? It's not what you know, but who you know. So to this class of 2021, try to keep those friendships that you have as long as you can. I mean, you may not realize it, but these friendships are so important in Hawaii. And I'm not talking about social media friends. I'm talking about the kind of friend that you'd call after a bad breakup. You know, the kind of friend who will listen to whatever it is that you're going through over Starbucks or Jamba Juice or late night at Zippy's. The kind of friend that is not going to judge or criticize, but just be there to listen as you're both sitting on the sidewalk at 1 a.m. in the morning, even though they have to work the next day. And maybe in your life, you only have 1 or 2 friends like that, and that's okay. But those high school friends, cherish them. Don't make the same mistake that I made, because I tried my best to maintain my friendship as long as I could, but at some point I decided that I didn't need to because I was going to live on the mainland. And so I started investing my time and attention to my new friendships there, and I started to ignore the ones back home in Hawaii. Then of course I moved back home and it was hard to revive them. I just didn't know what to say, like, hey, I'm back in Hawaii. We haven't talked in like 5 or 6 years. Do you want to be friends again? And some of the friendships that seemed to be okay were really lifeless. And that was my fault and my responsibility. It's like this pineapple plant that I have. You know, I cut off the top of this really sweet pineapple and I planted it in a pot. And in the beginning, I watered it a lot and the thing started to grow pretty big. But then life happened. I got busy, my son was born, and I kind of forgot about it. And now I might water it like once every week or 2. The plant looks like it's still alive. You know, the leaves are green. But the thing is, it's not fruiting. You know, there's supposed to be a small pineapple on top at this point. And I keep hoping that things are gonna come back to life, but I think it's too late. And you don't want your friendships to turn out like that, especially in a place like Hawaii, because it's a small place. I mean, since I've been back home, I've encountered people from high school, and when I see them, I don't even know what to do. Like, do I say, how's it? Do I say hi? I don't know. I'm not a friendship expert, but from what I can tell, friendships are often built on and cultivated through convenience. And for young people, that often comes through the form of school and sports. I mean, you're seeing the same kids each day, and that's how you spend time to build the friendship. And those friendships will probably continue to be maintained after high school into college. I mean, you're gonna keep in touch with some people and lose contact with others, and that's totally natural. And at the same time, you'll be developing new friendships with other people in places of convenience, like other social settings and work. But once those conveniences are taken away, the friendship is gonna start to fade. And it's so slow that you can't even detect it. And social media may seem like it's easier to stay connected, but that's through an online and often filtered space. And for those online friends who send you a happy birthday message, will they actually remember your birthday if Facebook didn't remind them? My high school friends really helped me get through some tough times. And I guess gaining and losing friends is just a part of life. And I'm sure there are people who are older that can attest to that. But I'll admit that I'm quite jealous of the people who have maintained friendships from high school who are my age, and not the kind of people who continue to relive high school life and never grow out of it. You know, I'm talking about the people who are still friends with people they knew in high school, who continue to grow their friendship as they themselves are getting older and moving through different seasons of their life. I just think that's amazing, and maybe I could have had that if I hadn't left for the mainland, or if I had kept in touch with more people, even if I wasn't planning on coming back to Hawaii. So try to keep the friendships that you have in high school for as long as you can. Because by the time you reach the middle of your life, like in your 40s, life gets so busy. But if you could just keep one or two of those friends until then, you'll be so much richer because you have so much history together. And so when you feel like things are slipping away, if you really care about them, try to initiate spending time together. I know it's gonna be awkward and you're putting yourself out there and you're vulnerable to be rejected, but it's worth it. I think back to all of my friends in high school and I'm so thankful for what they have done for me in my life. And I hope that I gave as much as I received. And who knows, maybe I'll run into them as my son gets older and our kids interact with each other. For my son, I hope that he does a better job at this than me. So congratulations to the class of 2021. Thanks for watching and aloha.